Hello and welcome to a new video. So today is going to be my top 5 of 2023. This is just my opinion, so you don't have to agree with any of these. These could be your least favorites for the year, who knows. Last year I believe I didn't have any except for maybe 1 or 2 on the list in my own collection. And so this year I decided to try and make all the dolls I did get this year on this list. So number 5 is going to be Monster High Stitched in Style Frankenstein. I think this is a beautiful doll, but the thing that puts her in number 5 is going to be the box. In person, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's still a little bit plain for a collector doll. But other than that, Frankie is perfect, and I'm so happy to have them in my collection. In number 4, we have Rainbow High Victoria Whitman. This doll is so adorable, and I just absolutely love her. Once again, the box is a little bit boring, but considering it's not actually meant to be a collector, I get where they're coming from. So I picked this doll because in last year's one I did dolls and lines, but this year I'm trying to stick to single dolls, and Victoria was my favourite in this line. I don't know why, but just looking at her picture right now, oh, I just want to grab her face and squish her cheeks. So my top 3 were a little harder to place, but in 3rd place I have the Monster High Skellector Jack and Sally. I love these dolls, and I just got them recently, so this would probably be the video before this one. I really like the box on these dolls, and that was really weird because I like the other boxes that open in the front as well, but I really didn't mind that you just have to slip the top off and you see the dolls with these ones. I love the height of the dolls, and I like that Jack is actually really tall compared to Sally. To me, in my opinion, these dolls are movie accurate, and this is why they're in my number 3. It was so hard to put this one in number 2, but it had to be done. Vampire Heart Draculaura. To me, this is the standard that collector dolls should be. This doll dropped a couple of hours after the Off-White Electra Melody did for me in my country. So I'd saved up the money to get Electra Melody, and then I went back to sleep because the drop happened at like 4 or 5 in the morning for me in New Zealand. And then when I woken up about 10, 11ish, Vampire Heart Draculaura dropped, and I just was like, I cannot miss this doll. As soon as I saw the pictures for this doll, I knew I had to have it. Her cage skirt is just amazing, and the box is so collector to me. And this doll was definitely worth all the money that I spent on her. So first, before we go into the number 1 spot, I'm going to start off with some honourable mentions. So the first one I almost added was this Freak du Chic Draculaura. Draculaura was a Comic-Con exclusive apparently, but she was sold on the Mattel Creations and she did sell out very fast. So the reason she was not added to my list was because I did not end up getting this doll, and I still do not have it. I do wish to get this doll one day, so hopefully when that time comes, and she is still such a beautiful doll. So my next one I also did not add to the list was Olivia Woods. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to do multiple dolls at once, so I only wanted to stick with the one from each line. And I already had Victoria because I think she was the prettiest in my opinion in the line, but this Olivia was very close second. Monster High Off-White Electra Melody almost also made it to this list. This doll was my favourite out of all 4 of them that were released. I do really love this doll. It's just that I felt like my top 5 were more my top 5 than this one, but it was so close. And the last doll that I had for honourable mentions was Bratz Felicia. The only reason I didn't add her is because she is a reproduction. But I am very glad that Bratz decided to release this doll in their series 3. And I do have a video up on this doll. I did buy 2 of them, one to unbox and one to keep in box. So finally, we have got down to number 1. Now my number 1 is probably not going to be everyone's number 1, obviously. But I have loved Bratz since I was 5. When my mum first got me my first ever Bratz dolls. And growing up, I have watched the cartoon episodes so many times throughout my life. And there's been so many times where I have literally told my mum even that I would be so happy and almost forever completed, if you will, if they ever made these dolls. And they finally did. So here in number 1 is the Bratz Tweevils, Kirsty and Casey. I absolutely love these dolls, and I don't really think they could have done any better whatsoever. All throughout my collecting, I've always taken messed up Chloe's and tried to make them into these dolls. And of course, I had to have them. So for now, I did get these dolls for Christmas. My mum did buy them for me. They will be staying in the box, and I will have a little review video on them coming soon. And I will be on the hunt for another set because I obviously have to have them unboxed as well because I so badly want them in my hands. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you would like, in the comments, please tell me what your top 5 or top 1 doll is of this year. I hope everyone watching has had a very wonderful Christmas and a happy new year.